which is vast economic potential, were not doing it. But rather they were taking tolls, like taking Omonile money from the fishermen who came from Ghana. In addition to that, I also saw moribund fishing infrastructure that has been abandoned.
In fact,
Ebugu.
Yes.
There's what we call the Ebugu fishing terminal. I saw it.
I was going to say that.
That was a Shagari creation.
That fishing terminal, in fact, you can't talk about developing or growing the fishing sector without mentioning the importance and the need for the revamping of a fishing terminal. The one in Ebugu, like you said, used to at least create jobs for no fewer than 5,000 people, even more, but that had been there, that fishing terminal had been there forever since. It would be of a great good for first the locals and then the industry as a whole, for such terminals to be revamped so that the locals can have that first strength of nearness, or in fact being in their very environment, to explore the potentials that fishing can give to them economically.
In fact, as a maritime country, Nigeria should have no business with poverty, let alone being called the poverty capital of the world. That in itself is an insult.
It
so
is.
I want to believe that this policy will change the narrative and will make Nigerians maximize the advantage and potentials inherent in the waters.
I think still talking about fishing and the need for a fishing terminal, NITOA had also fought for like some 3 years ago on the need for federal government, because there had been promises to develop a fishing terminal in Kirikiri. But I think like 3 years ago, NITOA also still cried out to say the very site, the location that was allocated or that was being discussions were being held for NITOA to have the fishing terminal had been taken over by another investment. Since this policy has come in, can the federal government actually take a look at that? Even if that same location is no longer available, it will be of great good to have a fishing terminal, a workable fishing terminal that can provide everything that will support the development and the growth of fishing in this part of the country.
Let's look at maritime transportation.
Yeah.
Do you know that pre-independence Nigeria, people were traveling by water from Calabar to Lagos?
In fact, as late as 2018, 2019, people were still doing quite a lot, traveling by the inland waters from Lagos to, you said, Calabar. In fact, people were still traveling from Lagos, here from CMS, the Marina, to Badagry, and even going as far as Ghana.
See?
Going to Tema. They were going to Tema.
Why don't we have crafts, ferries, cruise boats? Because if you talk of maritime, there's also linkage with tourism. You can decide to go on a fun expedition, traveling by water from Lagos to Calabar. This policy also needs to give reassurance of security.
I mentioned that earlier.
Because if there's security, people can invest in that sector.
People will invest, and then the policy on ground too should make provision should be made to ensure that those who are managing those crafts are well trained. It's important. You don't just get any person because you have invested, you've been able to buy a craft, and you just pick anyone to be there. They need training. These are interrelated network of issues that must be addressed if the policy will do well to grow the marine and blue economy.
You know, there are fears. I don't want to sound pessimistic, but the fears is about sustainability. Will a new government sustain and continually implement this policy as laudable as it is, even though
that is the importance of
because
a policy. A policy shouldn't be carved end with a regime. A policy means these are the drivers of this. These are the frameworks that should drive specific sectors of our economy. So it doesn't matter who is there,
and
which party or which government is there.
It's my worry. It's my personal worry.
I think that brings us back to the to the agencies who oversee all these activities and
beyond
operations.
agencies,
Yes.
it has to do with politicians now, because agencies who supervise these things are under the political class. Politicians are people who can change their mind at any time. What if another government comes and decides that they want a new policy, they want to start something afresh, different from what they are inheriting? That's my worry. We should have a culture of sustaining good policies like this, implement it for 10 years.
It is very important. I mean, this is a 10-year policy, and anyone who truly wants Nigeria to earn and gain from the good of the vast maritime potential that Nigeria has should actually support it. We are talking of a 10-year policy plan that would guide the operations in different subsectors of the marine and blue economy. I think it should be supported. I don't want to think that any person should just hurriedly wake up. These are taking very long time before we are seeing that the policy is being signed, approved. It should. I think we should all think Nigeria first. It's important. It should be Nigeria first. And then you have regulatory agencies. They are there. They are not there to just run about, oh, a new government has come, this is what this government wants. No, they should be professional enough to understand that whatever operations we are running are backed by a policy. That is why we are saying, oh, a policy is good, so that they will have something that is tangible, that can be referred to, that can be a reference point or reference document to say, this was written to guide or to drive this sector, and let's follow it. If we do that, I think it will be good for the sector and for Nigeria at large.
I'm optimistic too that it will address training deficits, because Nigeria as a maritime country has not been able to put its act together properly when it comes to maritime education and training. That we still have to go to smaller maritime countries in Africa for certification. Even when you go to an academy in Nigeria, you want to travel out of Nigeria for certification, because the certificate of competency issued by the administration in Nigeria is what you call near coastal voyage. NCV. It's not unlimited, and I don't know why we are delaying this unlimited, but this policy should be able to address that.
I was going to say that.
Where if you want the best of maritime training, you can get it in Nigeria without necessarily sourcing for dollars to go to South Africa, Egypt, to go and get it. You cannot have this whole vast water space and you don't have the training capacity and capability to churn out the best of manpower. In fact, we shouldn't be just having manpower for ourselves. Nigeria should be exporting maritime manpower.
But I believe strongly indeed that with the policy in place, quite a lot will change. Nigeria has the capacity, and there's nothing wrong in boosting capacity through further training. But right now, Nigeria has capacity. Training, we have people who can train, we have professionals who can actually train the younger generation. It's just for us to have indeed the policy drive the things that we're doing.
We are not taking advantage of the master mariners.
In fact, you are bringing us now to as they go. Who are they raising?
Who are they raising? To fill the gap.
It's important. It's important. It's important that they begin to do training for the next generation. It's important. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot, and I believe, we all believe indeed that this policy being implemented will do Nigeria a great deal of good in developing the marine and blue economy.
And the space for training has not been exhausted. Because we have an academy in Akwa Ibom, we have a university somewhere in Delta, and we have so much youth wanting to acquire maritime training, and these spaces in these schools are not enough. The government needs to do much, especially making private institutions that are involved in maritime training to have the recognized standard that will make them hard to the quality. Yes.
Well, I think even what the private sector is doing in the area of training manpower is also commendable.
But very limited.
It's not enough. It's commendable. is commendable. The only good thing is that let's be focused enough to understand the need to have more younger people being trained, come in, and at least so that they can have.
Talking about understanding the needs, yes. most governors from maritime states, yes, from my point of view, are yet to understand the need for their youth to be trained along maritime careers. Yes, because you see these governors hardly discussing things that have to do with maritime training. If governors from the coastal states,
good.
Governors from
I was going to say that
they begin to invest in maritime training for their youth. They will have less of militancy.
That is another area. I think those who are from the littoral states, Lagos State is doing quite a lot. Delta State is there. Ondo State is there. Bayelsa State is there. Akwa Ibom is there. Cross River is there. And the other states who are from the littoral states, I think they can actually key in and take advantage of this this policy to have a good number of their youth trained in the sector, so that they can gain. They will gain not just for the individuals themselves, but the state itself will also gain from it. I see it as a win-win thing for everyone. It's just for everybody to be awake to it, and then to be able to make decisions that will make each of them be a part of this new phase in the nation's marine and blue economy.
There's the aspect of balancing our foreign trade. You know, yes. Nigeria is import dependent. Coming to talk about a national policy on marine and blue economy.
Yes.
What space or what prominence are we giving to exports? Are we going to continually be importing things into Nigeria? If we are giving space to export, what is Nigeria doing about making our youth, our people, prepared to use the maritime space for export? Because everything keeps coming to Nigeria. If you look at the studio, you look at the street, you look at your room, almost everything you have in your house is important.
Like I mentioned earlier, I think each of the subsectors should now begin to wake up to the responsibilities and the things that they should be doing that will help them or enable them key into their own areas of this policy. I remember that some time ago, about 5 years back, the Nigeria Customs Service started a program to create awareness and train youths on the nitty-gritty of exports and imports. There was a program. I think they should just go back to that document or that program, dust it and bring it up again.
That also talks about the need to look at marine and blue economy policy beyond one ministry, because customs is not under that ministry.
It's not.
So the marine and blue economy policy should be such
that it
touches all ministries that have to do with that marine ecosystem, including the telecoms, oil and gas, finance, where you find the customs, trade, where you find the NEPC, and the rest. So the policy should be one that should bring everybody together for the good and growth of the nation. But I still have this fear. The fear of government agencies trying to, rather than operate as partners, compete or having this corporate ego struggle amongst themselves, where they should be the people partnering with other ones. It brings us back to the SDGs. We see that, like, the SDG 17 encourages people and agencies to partner. There's no time. If people take partnership as a forefront in anything they are doing, then it will be a win-win for everybody. One agency, one ministry can't drive the entirety of this marine and blue economy policy. It's not possible. It intersects different sectors. It intersects different industries, and it will only pay us all for them to cooperate, partner where need be, so that we can have good outcomes. Yeah, as we round up, for the good of this policy and to make it beneficial to everybody.
Yeah.
All government agencies should, as a matter of importance, see themselves as children of one parent. Same parents, not rivals, everybody working for the common good and for a family. Once they see themselves like that, you hardly have interagency rivalry. Because this interagency rivalry stems from, oh, this agency is not from my ministry, and you just have to see them as you must do better than them. Whereas you have to partner, collaborate for one country.
And it's very funny because anything any of the agencies are doing, anything each one of them is doing, ultimately is for the good of country, is for the good and the propagation of the empowerment that the federal government itself is doing. And even if you cascade it down to the state government, it still says, oh, this state government has done well. But if you put them together again, the good will still go to the federal government.
Yes.
But importantly, it must have touched the lives of the people who are found in their different localities. And I think that is all that we need as a people.
Yeah, the policy is laudable. It has raised our expectations, our anticipations. We look forward to seeing it manifest in a way that will impact positively in the entire maritime space, and Nigeria will be better for it.
We'll keep a tab on that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. The tide has truly turned. At least on paper, what happens next will depend on the political will, private sector collaboration, and how much the media and public hold institutions accountable for execution.
And that's exactly what we aim to do, yeah. On Watchers of the Sea, we are not just reporting the tides, we are helping set them. Thank you for joining. On this maiden voyage, we'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same station, to continue navigating the waves of Nigeria's blue economy.
Until then, keep your eyes on the sea and your mind on the tide. Good night.
Hi, my name is Comfort, and welcome to Blue for You. Ever looked at the water and wondered, so what? Well, today we'll be flipping that into, so what can this water do for you? The show is here to bring blue economy to everyday Nigerians, no jargon, no stress. And today, on our first episode, we're asking, what is the blue economy? Let's dive in. The blue economy is everything that happens on water for survival, money, and national growth. It covers jobs like fishing, ports, water transport, tourism, boat making, agriculture, even protecting the oceans themselves. Nigeria has over 850 kilometers of coastline, and this is a massive opportunity and a coastline we are barely using. In 2019, the blue economy was valued at over $1.5 trillion globally, and it's expected to double by 2030. So the big idea is this: what the land can do, the water can do too, and maybe better. Because the future is floating, and Nigeria must learn to sail. Most people don't know what it is yet, but that is why the Blue for You exists. We're talking real people and real voices, and putting water on the radar. You know, I always saw water as chill time, beach vibes, and boat rides. But today, I learned something else. Water is wealth. Fish farming, shipping, coastal tourism, these things can fill millions of jobs in Nigeria. And here's the fun fact: 90% of global trade moves by sea. So let's think differently. The water is not just for watching, it's for walking. Thanks for being part of the first episode of Blue for You. Next time, we're heading to a fish farm to see how young Nigerians are creating income from sources of water. You don't want to miss this. I am Comfort Idongisebasi, and this has been Blue for You, because the blue economy is for all of us. Thank you. From ports to paddles, coastlines to careers, Blue for You is your weekly dose of maritime discovery. Join me every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Blue Economy TV, and catch our repeat broadcast Mondays at 10 a.m., the Discover the blue side of life. Hi, my name is Comfort and welcome to Blue for You. Ever looked at the water and wondered, so what? Well, today we'll be flipping that into, so what can this water do for you? The show is here to bring the blue economy to everyday Nigerians, no jargon, no stress. And today, on our first episode, we're asking, what is the blue economy? Let's dive in. The blue economy is everything that happens on water for survival, money, and national growth. It covers jobs like fishing, ports, water transport, tourism, boat making, aquaculture, and even protecting the oceans themselves. Nigeria has over 850 kilometers of coastline, and that is a massive opportunity and a water highway we are barely using. In 2019, the blue economy was valued at over $1.5 trillion globally, and it is expected to double by 2030. So the big question is this: what the land can do, the water can do too, and maybe better. Because the future is floating and Nigeria must learn to sail. You know, I always saw water as chill time, beach vibes, and boat rides. But today, I learned something different. Water is wealth. Fish farming, shipping, coastal tourism, these things can fuel millions of jobs in Nigeria. And here's a fun fact: 90% of global trade moves by sea. So let's think differently. The water is not just for watching, it is for walking. Thanks for being part of our first episode of Blue for You. Next time, we're heading to a fish farm to see how young Nigerians are creating income from water. You don't want to miss it. My name is Comfort Idongisebasi, and this has been Blue for You, because the blue economy is for all of us. From ports to paddles, coastlines to careers, Blue for You is your weekly dose of maritime discovery. Join me every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Blue Economy TV and catch our repeat broadcast Mondays at 10 a.m. Discover the blue side of life.
Every morning, along Nigeria's 850-kilometer coastline, a ritual begins. Fishermen, some as young as 15, cast off with hope in their nets, but fewer fish return with them each day. A silent crisis is sweeping the West African coast. Illegal, unreported, and unregulated, what we call IUU, fishing is draining life from our oceans. In Nigeria alone, the estimated loss is over $70 million every year. For coastal communities, fish are not just food, they're income, culture, and survival. Yet foreign industrial trawlers, operating with impunity and without permits, vacuum up tons of catch daily, often within waters legally reserved for small-scale fishers. Detecting these ocean crimes isn't easy. The sea offers cover, and many trawlers switch off their tracking systems. But Nigerian authorities are fighting back, with satellite monitoring, coastal radar, and regional cooperation. In 2024 alone, 23 illegal vessels were intercepted. Several were found using banned fishing methods, destroying coral reefs, capturing endangered species, and operating under false identities. The loss isn't only ecological. It's economic and generational. Young people, seeing no future in fishing, leave for cities. Women, who dominate fish processing, face shrinking income. Nutrition suffers as local protein sources dwindle. Nigeria, despite abundant marine resources, now imports a significant portion of its seafood. That's not just inefficient, it's a national security risk. But there is hope, and it starts with people. Community-led patrols are proving effective in deterring poachers. Youth and women are being trained to document illegal activity using mobile technology. At the policy level, Nigeria is updating its fisheries laws, investing in local surveillance capacity, and working with ICAOs to track cross-border violators. There's also growing support for sustainable aquaculture, ensuring supply without harm. The ocean has fed us for generations. But without action, it will grow silent. Together, governments, communities, and consumers, we can defend our waters, restore our fisheries, and build a legacy of abundance. Fish for the future. Because our oceans feed more than our bodies, they feed our future. Nigeria consumes over 3 million metric tons of fish each year, but produces barely half of that. And with wild catch dwindling, what comes next? Across the globe, aquaculture, farming fish instead of catching them, is reshaping food systems. In Nigeria, it's becoming not just an option, but a necessity. Catfish, tilapia, shrimps, these staples are now increasingly farmed in tanks, ponds, and cages. Today, aquaculture contributes 40% of local fish supply. But it's still not enough. The challenges are real. Poor water quality, rising feed costs, and a lack of cold storage plague smallholders. Many lack access to capital or modern training. But innovation is bubbling up. Startups are bringing IoT sensors, mobile diagnostics, and digital marketplaces to fish farmers, boosting yields and reducing risk. Fish is more than food, it's a source of protein, jobs, and resilience. It prevents malnutrition, empowers women, and supports millions of livelihoods. By supporting gender-inclusive fish farming, Nigeria can lift families out of poverty and nourish future generations. To feed tomorrow, we must farm the sea today. Aquaculture is not just about growing fish, it's about growing futures. Clean, climate-smart, and community-led. The next seafood revolution will not come from the ocean floor, it will rise from Nigeria's ponds, tanks, and mines. For centuries, coastal communities have lived in harmony with the sea, managing, respecting, sustaining. But that balance is slipping away. Marine policies often come from faraway cities, detached from the rhythms of the tide. Meanwhile, the people who know the sea best are often unheard. Studies show that co-management, shared responsibility between government and locals, leads to stronger enforcement, sustainability, and resilience. In Ibino and Elage, fishers, women processors, and local leaders are setting their own rules, limiting gear, closing spawning zones, and reporting illegal boats. They know that the sea gives only when respected. And when communities feel ownership, enforcement follows. Tools are evolving. Smartphones now track fish stocks. Sea rangers collect data. And fisherwomen use mobile wallets to organize cooperatives. These are not just governance models, they are movements. Proof that sustainability grows stronger when rooted in culture. Governments may draw borders, but stewardship begins at the shoreline. When coastal voices lead, the sea listens, and so should we. A new kind of fuel is rising from the ocean, a gas so powerful it could transform Nigeria's energy landscape. It's colorless, clean, and made from water. Hydrogen is the universe's most abundant element. When burned, it emits only water vapor. As the world shifts from oil to clean energy, hydrogen is fast becoming the fuel of the future. Ocean-based hydrogen is made using renewable power to split seawater into hydrogen and oxygen, a process called electrolysis. It's green, scalable, and ideal for a country like Nigeria, rich in coastal wind, solar, and tidal energy. Green hydrogen could decarbonize Nigeria's shipping sector, electrify remote communities, and power cleaner industries. Already, universities and startups are piloting projects along the coast. New jobs, clean innovation, and export potential, Nigeria can become a hydrogen hub for Africa.
Preview.
From our oceans, we can fuel our future. The hydrogen revolution is here. Let's make it Nigerian. Beneath the waves, a new frontier awaits, filled with metals that power smartphones, solar panels, and electric cars. But is it a treasure chest or Pandora's box? Across the globe, nations are racing to mine the ocean floor. Cobalt, nickel, rare earth metals, all vital for the green transition, lie hidden under 4,000 meters of pressure and pitch-black silence. Demand for these minerals is soaring. Deep-sea mining could unlock them, at a cost. Nigeria, already a continental energy giant, may soon tap into its underwater mineral wealth. Recent surveys point to rich seabed reserves within our exclusive economic zone. With proper research and strategic governance, seabed mining could diversify our economy and reduce dependence on oil. But the ocean floor is not empty, it's alive. Mining could disrupt fragile ecosystems we barely understand. Species extinction, habitat loss, and sediment clouds could damage ocean life for generations. Critics urge caution. Once disturbed, deep-sea ecosystems may take centuries, or forever, to recover. Can we mine responsibly? With strict environmental safeguards, marine protected areas, and real-time impact monitoring, Nigeria could set a global benchmark. The debate is not just scientific, it's generational. The decisions we make now will shape the ocean's health and our nation's prosperity for decades.
Sit in that's and it's very simple. In fact, the matter should be Nigeria Shippers Council to the rescue, like a Superman wearing his cape. That's what you are, and that's how you build your brand. What is a brand, by the way?
Think the sea is far away? Think again. From the bustling markets of Lagos to the rich waters of Cross River, the sea impacts every single one of us. Brought to you by the Blue Economy Academy. This is Nigeria's essential monthly ocean intelligence brief. Whether you're in Badagry, Bakassi, or anywhere in between, we are all stakeholders of the seas. Join the conversation with founder Yubong Essien, CSB, and our team of limited spaces are available. Scan the QR code now and join the Code Blue movement. Let's build a Nigeria that prospers by water. Powered by the Blue Economy Academy.
Blue Economy Academy. Prosper by water.
As you know, today's event is about exploring the revolution of the blue economy and what the real estate sector can do. If you notice recently, there was this preliminary report about Nigeria's GDP, the rebasing. And we saw from that preliminary report that oil and gas has been displaced by real estate. Real estate is now number 3. Oil and gas is now number 4. Now, we get most of our income, most of our revenue from oil and gas. But in terms of its GDP value, which is really the gross domestic product for the nation, oil and gas is no longer giving us so much. That's why the oil and gas is actually what is called an enclave sector. You can invest 12 billion into the oil and gas sector and you'll be lucky to get employment of about 10,000 people. But invest 1 billion into any of the 10 buckets of the blue economy, because there are about 10 buckets of the blue economy. Those buckets, you have what we call blue commodities, for instance. You're talking about aquaculture, your fishes, your shrimps, all of those living organisms in the waters that can provide food, as long as they are harvested with sustainability in mind. You also have what we call blue cities, which is where you have real estate coming into the fore. So you're talking about development across the water lines, across the coast, waterfront development, luxury development as well, the entire gamut of it. So these 2 buckets alone, imagine the attention that we could pay to these 2 buckets and what we expect to generate. Now we know that on estimate basis, Nigeria's blue economy is put at about $30 billion. That much we know. Globally, it's about $1.5 trillion. That is very expansive without having to do so much, because it's a sector that is a lot more inclusive. If I were to ask you, how many people do you know in oil and gas? You would have to scratch your head. It's practically an exclusive industry. But if I were to say real estate, chances are that you know someone who might not be a developer, but is a broker. Who might not be a broker, but is maybe a sales and marketing person in that sector. And then talk about those who are lawyers as well in that sector. So clearly, the step that FIAPC is taking today to say this is a revolution taking place, we want to now begin to move our consciousness about real estate from merely being landed property to actually value-driven assets. In other words, water itself has real estate value. And because of all of the activities, economic activities that can take place on it, underneath it, around it, in terms of the communities, in terms of the mineral resources within it, and of course in terms of the kinds of buildings you can begin to create. You can actually have estates, aquatic estates.
Okay.
So
I'll play the catch-up game, because you spoke so much about the blue economy, like this. We're just getting used to it, or this administration that had a Ministry of Blue Economy. So I'll play the catch-up game.
Absolutely. We fast-track the process by moving from mere advocacy towards engagement. That's how we fast-track the process. So for instance, you have in this room about 100 professionals in the real estate business. Not just the Nigerian body, but of course you have, for instance, you have the president of FIAPC Africa and Near East. So there's already international collaboration and expertise in this room. What I would say to FIAPC today is commence engagement. I'm told that there are commissioners from Lagos State that will also be part of this event. We don't have time for advocacy again, talking about whether it's important, talking about sensitizing ourselves. The world has moved. Yes, it's an emerging trend, but like you rightly asked, are we far behind? Yes, we're trying to play catch up now. So FIAPC should start visiting all the governors of the 8 littoral states, from Badagry in Lagos to Bakassi in Cross River State. Those are 8 littoral states. You should be talking to the governors. Governors, can you help us? Can you provide us enablement along the coast? Can you open up those frontiers? Because the 8 littoral states are the first frontiers as far as the blue economy is concerned. Then you have 20 other states inland, but they are connected by water transportation in one way or the other. Those are like the what you call the blue corridor states. So can FIAPC reach out to the governors, engage with them? and then create what we now know today as PPPs. All right, state governors, if you can open up the space for us. The real estate practitioners know how to find their way. We know that. We see estates all over the place. Many Nigerians have been buying into them, and so they've taken the lead without waiting for government.
Unlocking ocean opportunity. Let's prosper by water. From Badagry to Bakassi, Nigeria's coastline stretches with promise. Rich waters, endless resources, unseen opportunities. But for decades, we've remained sea blind, despite being surrounded by water. Nigeria has looked inland for growth. The maritime economy remained hidden in plain sight. The vast potential of the blue economy, untapped, unspoken, unrealized. Then came a vision. The Blue Economy Academy was founded to change the tide. A bold institution created to eliminate sea blindness and usher in a new wave of prosperity by water. At the heart of the Academy lies a strategic framework. 10 key inclusion buckets that capture the entire spectrum of the ocean economy. From ports to policy, fish to finance. BEA connects every drop of potential. Through executive education, stakeholder town halls, awareness campaigns, and hands-on training. BEA is bridging Nigeria's knowledge gap. One course, one conversation, one community at a time. From our monthly Mastering the Blue Economy Executive Intensive, to grassroots projects like the Ocean Literacy Program and the Campaign Against Sea Blindness. BEA is for everyone: students, professionals, policy architects, investors, innovators. All united by one call, to help Nigeria prosper by water. The Blue Economy Academy has already made waves. National press coverage, government recognition, community trust. It is becoming the lighthouse guiding Nigeria's blue renaissance. This is your call to board the ship. Join as a member. Learn, collaborate, lead. Be part of the movement to unlock our maritime future. Blue Economy Academy, prosper by water. Eliminating sea blindness.
Hello, my name is Ubonge Sien, West Africa's only certified speaking professional and Dean School of Eloquence. According to the Eloquence Institute, over 70% of notable people, public officials and leaders find it very difficult to speak in public.
They do consultation.
This is how reputations are wrecked, one dull speech at a time. So, if you are serious about not being part of this sad statistic, protecting your voice, your image, and your reputation, then join me at the School of Eloquence, the home of public speaking.
My name is Adeze Nwogo, and the experience here at School of Eloquence has been amazing.
School of Eloquence, teaching the world to speak.
Are you tired of hearing about Nigeria's potential, only to wonder, what about my potential? Imagine a world where our rivers and oceans aren't just scenery, but pathways to prosperity, where our coastlines unlock new futures for every Nigerian. For too long, we've suffered from sea blindness. But it's time to open our eyes. Introducing Blue for You, a national movement connecting you to Nigeria's incredible blue economy. This isn't just for experts. It's for students, traders, innovators, and families. It's for everyone. Join our Blue congregation. Connect with passionate Nigerians, share ideas, and discover how to dive into a beautiful world of opportunity. Ready to find your blue? To see the sea not just as water, but as your future? Join our next monthly Blue for You forum via Zoom. Blue for You, the sea for all, that all may see. Your future is calling.
Life at sea is difficult enough. Let's not make it harder. I'm Ubong Isian, certified speaking professional and founder of the Blue Economy Academy. As the world marks the Day of the Seafarer, under the powerful theme, My Harassment-Free Ship, the message must echo beyond the moment. Our seafarers, those courageous men and women, face storms, isolation, and sacrifice every day. But what they should never have to face is harassment, abuse, or indignity on board their vessels. For women seafarers, this danger is often multiplied. Many of them suffer silently, marginalized, disrespected, or even violated. And all this without protection or justice. We must call this out. We must change it. A ship must be a sanctuary, not a threat. One where every woman is safe, every voice is heard, and every act of misconduct is addressed without delay. At the Blue Economy Academy, this is a moral and strategic priority reflected in two of our foundational pillars. First, Blue Governance and Justice, which demands stronger laws, enforcement, reporting systems, and ethical leadership at sea. And second, Blue Talent, because we cannot build a sustainable maritime future while neglecting the very people who power it. The Nigerian seafarer, whether male or female, deserves more than a struggle. They deserve global relevance, respect, and recognition. Many of our seafarers remain undertrained, underpaid, and underprotected despite their potential and the sacrifices that they continue to make. We must change that. It's time to benchmark Nigerian seafarers against international best standards. It's time to invest in their welfare, dignity, and growth, not just as workers, but as ambassadors of our maritime future. Let's make every ship a place of professional pride, mental peace, and personal protection. Let's create a maritime culture that sees harassment as an emergency and not a hidden habit. Because a true blue economy is not just about what we can extract from the sea. It's about how we treat the people who live and work on it. So, to every Nigerian and global seafarer, we just want to let you know that we see you, we thank you, we stand with you. May your voyage continue to be safe, and may your ship be harassment-free. May your future be even brighter than your past. Thank you. From all of us here at the Blue Economy Academy. Happy Seafarers Day. Indeed, it is your harassment-free ship.
Once, these waters were the world's most feared. Piracy, theft, fear at sea. But the Nigerian Navy fought back and won. For 3 years, our seas have been calm. Piracy defeated, waters secured. The Navy victorious. But calm seas alone are not enough. What next? Empty coasts, idle hands, youths with no trawlers to work on. Security without prosperity is only half a victory. America is a superpower because its security fuels its prosperity, and its prosperity funds its security. Nigeria too must embrace this duality. No arm of our military holds the key more than the Navy. The old battle was pirates, oil thieves, and poachers. The Navy won it. The new battle is poverty on our coasts, wasted blue wealth, stolen futures. This is the blue battle, the battle for prosperity, for jobs, for abundance. Admiral, history will remember not only the battles you won at sea, but the prosperity you unleashed from it.
Good day, sir.
Good day.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Darren Phillips, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on LSDPC matters.
So we all know that public speaking is also tough. It's not just about speaking, it's also about handling tough situations. So I want to ask, why do you think people fear public speaking?
Well, with what I've learned, public speaking, the issues most people encounter is the fact that they are thinking of how they look. They're thinking of what they're saying. They're thinking of, themselves in that situation. But once you step out of that mindset and start thinking of what the people are going to benefit from that conversation, the knowledge you're going to spread, the information you're going to give them, once you make that shift happen, it completely dissolves that fear, because then it's not about you and you're just focused on passing that message across and getting people to understand what you're saying.
That was really beautiful. So I want to also ask, with the way digital economy is evolving, how do you think public speaking plays a role in the success of businesses in this digital era?
I mean, in this digital era, especially the era of social media, everybody's concerned. Everybody's essentially a public speaker, because with your phone, you can talk to the world. That access has never happened anywhere in the world. But this time period, you have the voice, you have the platform to be able to talk to the world, which is the reason why most people should, not only learn public speaking, but communication. It's such an important and useful skill that you just have to engage in, you have to perfect, you have to constantly practice to get ahead in this digital world.
Okay, thank you so very much, and thank you for your time. Have a lovely day ahead.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing okay. You look good, by the way, and congrats on your induction, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, can we know you, please?
Okay, my name is Dr. Lara Tegbero.
Okay. What do you do?
I'm into real estate. I own a real estate company here in VI. Went to real estate agency, management, development, and all.
Okay, so I want to ask you how public speaking has played a role in you pitching to clients or trying to pitch for a position or something in the real estate industry.
Oh, well, public speaking is, it's part of our daily activities, because for you to market whatever product you have to speak with people, and you have to speak with them in a way they will understand to be ready to deal. Otherwise, it might be a put-off if you can convey your information politely and accurately. So public speaking is part of our business.
Okay, so do you have any special skill that you use to grasp the attention of audience or clients?
Talk of that, well, that would be about the way I manage my clients in terms of the disposition. You give them this aura that will make them welcome to you, and they will be ready to do business with you, which is what I think I have.
Thank you very much.
I endeared my clients to me.
I see that already.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, sir. Have a lovely day.
You're welcome. Thanks. You too. Bye.
Good day, sir.
Good day. Nice to meet you.
Hey, my name is Comfort.
My name is Kenny Wankwa. I'm a real estate agent, broker, and I'm also the Young Professionals Council president of FIAPSHI.
That's really nice. So I want to ask how public speaking plays a role in building trust and credibility in the real estate industry, as you have to market land, apartments, and properties. How do you build trust and credibility with public speaking?
Okay, I would say that public speaking is, I think, one of the best skills you can have. You can be underqualified, and if you speak well, people will in their mind they'll qualify you higher. So I think it plays a role in, from the standpoint of communicating accurately, clearly, succinctly, makes people trust you more. It makes you sound more like you know what you're talking about, and people prefer to deal with people in this, especially in this environment where there's like a huge trust deficit, especially in this country. When you speak well and you communicate the information and relay the information accurately and clearly and efficiently, it definitely buys you a great deal of trust. People are more likely to take you on your word more when you speak well. It helps you convey your message. If there's a value proposition that isn't obvious, being a well-spoken person and understanding public speaking can help you relay that in a way. And then also from the standpoint of diversity, being able to speak the various dialects people speak. Like I know, for example, I've had many situations where I'm dealing with like a local chief who is like, on Manilas and stuff and trying to broker some kind of deal, and that your eloquent university speak doesn't work there. Then you go to that guy and you speak the language that he speaks, which is its own form of public speaking. Like in Nigerian politics, you want to do a town hall in your local government, you're probably not going to do it in university English. So definitely that skill is huge in buying trust and, like credibility and cachet with people.
This was really wonderful. Thank you very much for your time and have a lovely day ahead.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Good day, sir.
Good day, good afternoon, you're welcome.
Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Esesobe Amvalo Abdegani Jimo, a member of the FIAPSHI family. I'm into real estate, though practice in the northern part of Nigeria, that is precisely Abuja, Kaduna, and Kano, respectively. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I want to ask you how public speaking has helped you when speaking in public and how you handle tough questions or objections during public speaking.
Public speaking, I think, though I would say as the public relation officer, as a PRO, Kaduna State branch of the Nigerian Institute of Survey and Valuers, I speak more in the public, and that has kind of like built my confidence when communicating with people, seeking people's opinion and making your own opinions, getting across your own opinion to others as well. And speaking in public, I think it goes a long way. Apart from the talent, it also has to do with training. It also has to do with learning and other skills involved.
Okay. So I want to also ask, do you think public speaking is inbuilt, or you can actually learn it, or it is like natural, like a talent?
Yes. Number one, there are those with that talent, so we can say it's inbuilt. However, apart from the inbuilt talent, I can categorically say it has to do with learning also. Because for you to be able to speak in public, you need to first of all identify the kind of public you want to discuss with and the kind of event you want to speak, you want to kind of go into. Is it a formal event, is it a semi-formal event, or an informal event? Because that will guide you in your way of communication, in your way of processing your ideas to the people on, so let me say to the attendees, those who are present at such events. So it also has to do with learning also and training for you to be able to kind of communicate with people effectively.
Thank you so very much for your time. Have a lovely day.
Thank you. And I can say I want to use the opportunity also to thank the CEO of Achievement Channel. And why I said it is that today it's because I also speak in public also. It kind of like give me another dimension to mode of speakings, because first of all, apart from we all understand that you need to kind of like introduce your theme, you need to introduce your topic, it's also giving me another perspective which has to do with involvement, which has to do with engagement. Because without the engagement, even speaking in public has a long way to go. Yes, because seriously today, this afternoon, I've also learned some things. Because I have to take my pen and pick my pad to take one or two things down, because it gave me an idea that when trying to introduce your topic, apart from the fact that you need to read your audience, it also has to do with bringing facts from the background of what your topic is, and try to use that background to base what's your topic inside, which has to do with training. Yes, it has to do with training, and that's very good. At least I've learned one or two things from him. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Good day, sir. Can I know you, please?
Well, my name is Estate Surveyor and Valuer Honorable Ayodeji Ejalonibo Amodu. I'm currently the Senior Special Assistant to Mr. Governor, Mr. Selibu, Mr. Infrastructure, Mr. Housing, where I am, of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, the Executive Governor of Lagos State.
Okay, that's really nice. So I just want to ask you a question. So as a leader in the real estate industry, I want to ask how public speaking has influenced your success in the real estate industry.
Well, thank you very much. To say the fact, I love public speaking because I had a stint with public. I had a degree in public relations and advertising. And if you actually study public relations, that was at a postgraduate level at Nigerian Institute of Journalism. That back then, about 2000, about 25 years ago, in public relations, it's a course you actually take, public speaking, and public speaking helps you to actually express yourself. It gives you some sense of expression.
The sea is more than just water. It's our future. From Badagry to Bakassi, Nigeria's coastline is over 850 kilometers of untapped opportunity. The blue economy is woven into every part of our lives. We are all stakeholders of the seas. From the Blue Economy Academy, Code Blue is the brief designed to eliminate sea blindness. Get the critical insights you need to prosper by water, economically, environmentally, and educationally. Don't miss this opportunity to join the conversation. Limited virtual capacity. Scan the QR code now to join the movement. Let's build a Nigeria that prospers by water with Code Blue.
In the heart of Africa's coastline lies Nigeria's greatest untapped opportunity. Yet too many remain sea-blind, unaware of the wealth beneath the waves. The Blue Economy Academy was created to eliminate sea blindness and unlock prosperity by water. With 10 dynamic sectors, from blue commerce to blue ventures, we offer a clear, practical framework. Join as a student, professional, executive, or a titan of the ocean economy. Gain access to premium courses, join national working groups, and connect with a growing community. Let's make the blue economy work for Nigeria. Join the tide of change. Become a member of the Blue Economy Academy and help Nigeria prosper by water. For years, a silent war was fought in our waters. A fight against pirates, saboteurs, and criminals who threatened our nation's economic lifeblood. This is the story of a force that stood ready. A navy that answered the call. The Nigerian Navy has won the first half of the victory. Through unwavering resolve, piracy in the Gulf of Guinea has been defeated, winning us international acclaim. We have brought calm seas to our nation. But calm seas without thriving coasts is only half a victory. The next battle is not with fire, but with focus. a battle to transform the Navy security win into Nigeria's prosperity. To win this battle, we must change our strategy. From security as a cost to security as a product. This is the purpose of NIPOL, Nigeria's first national prosperity coalition. It is a Navy-led doctrine, an architecture for immediate action where security becomes the bedrock of investment confidence. NIPOL is a strategic handshake between the war room and the boardroom. It moves beyond the silos of marine and shipping to bring in every sector that touches our seas. Consider our vision for blue cities. Nigeria has 853 kilometers of coastline and 8 littoral states brimming with untapped potential. The private sector is ready to invest billions in coastal resorts and infrastructure, but they need an assurance no other institution can provide. NIPOL is that assurance. It is the platform where the Navy provides the security and state governors provide the access, allowing the private sector to deliver the prosperity. This is how the Navy gets a seat at the table from the very beginning, ensuring seamless security planning while simultaneously generating revenue, creating millions of jobs, and revitalizing our coastal communities. Admiral, the tides of our national destiny are changing. For the first time, a dedicated ministry and a national policy have given us the mandate to act. The space is open. This is the moment to pivot the Navy from a guardian of our waters to the guarantor of our prosperity. This is the legacy that awaits your leadership. When storms hit, mangroves stand between destruction and survival. These blue forests are our first and often last line of defense. Mangroves store up to 5x more carbon than rainforests. Seagrasses purify water. Salt marshes prevent floods. Together, they form a climate shield. In Nigeria, over 1/3 of mangroves have vanished, leaving coasts exposed and communities unprotected. What we lose in trees, we pay for in floods, hunger, and heat. But hope grows literally. Across Bayelsa, Cross River, and Lagos, communities are replanting, protecting, and profiting from carbon-rich ecosystems. Our coasts don't need concrete, they need roots. Let's rebuild what protects us all.
Nigeria has officially entered Code Blue, a new chapter in ocean intelligence powered by the Blue Economy Academy. Code Blue is our monthly national briefing series that brings together policy minds, industry leaders, and civic stakeholders to make sense of the opportunities that lie offshore, underwater, and on our coast. This is where we turn maritime insight into national strategy. Our maiden edition on July 29, 2025 sets sail with a landmark focus, Blueprint to Reality, mainstreaming Nigeria's 10-year marine and blue economy policy. We will unpack what the policy means beyond the paper and spotlight what government, industry, and of course citizens must do to implement it. With reflections from key public and private players, Code Blue aims to move Nigeria's blue economy from vision to value. Join us for this inaugural virtual voyage. Let's deepen the maritime awareness, shape national direction, and anchor new conversations that make Nigeria prosper by water. Welcome on board. Nigeria has officially entered Code Blue, a new chapter in ocean intelligence powered by the Blue Economy Academy. Code Blue is our monthly national briefing series that brings together policy minds, industry leaders, and civic stakeholders to make sense of the opportunities that lie offshore, underwater, and on our coast. This is where we turn maritime insight into national strategy. Our maiden edition on July 29, 2025 sets sail with a landmark focus, Blueprint to Reality, mainstreaming Nigeria's 10-year marine and blue economy policy. We will unpack what the policy means beyond the paper and spotlight what government, industry, and of course citizens must do to implement it. With reflections from key public and private players, Code Blue aims to move Nigeria's blue economy from vision to value. Join us for this inaugural virtual voyage. Let's deepen the maritime awareness, shape national direction, and anchor new conversations that make Nigeria prosper by water. Welcome on board.
We've mapped the moon better than our oceans. But that's changing thanks to AI, satellites, and smart tech that listen to the sea. A smart ocean is an informed ocean. Using sensors, AI, and cloud data, we can monitor fish stocks, track pollution, and even forecast climate threats. In Lagos, youth are coding maritime apps. In Calabar, AI tools are tracking trawlers. In Bayelsa, fishermen use SMS alerts to avoid toxic blooms. From oil tracking to weather alerts, data is becoming Nigeria's most powerful coastal tool. To lead, we need access to global tools, local training, and indigenous innovation. Ocean intelligence must be open, inclusive, and African-led. The ocean speaks in data. It's time we listened with purpose and with code. In the heart of Africa, a giant sleeps. Blessed with endless shores, intricate rivers, and vital lagoons, Nigeria holds a destiny written in water. Yet, for many, this vast inheritance remains unseen, a quiet backdrop to our daily lives. We call it sea blindness, the inability to truly see the lifeblood that flows through our nation. This blindness isn't just about what we don't see, it's about what we lose. Opportunities for jobs, for sustainable food, for clean energy, for global trade, slipping through our fingers. But one voice, and now a movement, dares to challenge this silence. We are a water-blessed nation. 853 kilometers of coastline, nearly 10,000 kilometers of inland waterways. This isn't just water, it's blue gold. It's our future, our prosperity, our collective well-being. The Blue Economy Academy is not just about identifying the problem, it's about igniting the solution. Through Blue for You, we are building a national movement, a blue congregation, to awaken this sleeping giant. It's about empowering you. Our mission is clear, the sea for all. That all may see. We believe that when every Nigerian sees the potential, they will own their role in building this incredible future. This is our moment. The time to turn potential into prosperity, to heal our waters, and to build a beautiful world for ourselves and generations to come. Your journey into the blue economy starts now. I invite you. Join our monthly online forums, become part of our Blue congregation. Let's share ideas, ignite passions, and together transform Nigeria's destiny. Your future is calling. Answer the call. Dive into your blue. Once, these waters were the world's most feared: piracy, theft, fear at sea. But the Nigerian Navy fought back and won. For 3 years, our seas have been calm. Piracy defeated. Waters secured. The Navy victorious. But calm seas alone are not enough. What next? Empty coasts. Idle hands. Youths with no trawlers to work on. Security without prosperity is only half a victory. America is a superpower because its security fuels its prosperity, and its prosperity funds its security. Nigeria too must embrace this duality. No arm of our military holds the key more than the Navy. The old battle was pirates, oil thieves, and poachers. The Navy won it. The new battle is poverty on our coasts, wasted blue wealth, stolen futures. This is the blue battle, the battle for prosperity, for jobs, for abundance. Admiral, history will remember not only the battles you won at sea, but the prosperity you unleashed from it. The ocean is Nigeria's greatest untapped treasure. From Lagos to Calabar, from Badagry to Bakassi, our waters carry the power to feed us, connect us, and propel our nation into prosperity. Yet for too long, we have turned our backs to the sea. Today, that tide must change. Our ocean is more than coastline. It is 853 kilometers of opportunity, 200 nautical miles of economic promise, and a lifeline for over 200 million Nigerians. 90% of our trade moves by sea. Millions depend on fisheries for their daily bread. And from offshore oil to renewable energy, our waters are the foundation of our survival. But with great wealth comes great responsibility. Our obligation is clear: to protect our waters from pollution, piracy, and neglect, to keep our seafarers safe, to sustain marine life for future generations, to govern our waterways with justice and foresight. If we fail, we risk not only our environment, but our very future as a maritime nation. Yet within every challenge lies opportunity. The blue economy can generate millions of jobs for our youth in shipping, aquaculture, shipbuilding, tourism, and marine technology. With innovation, skills, and vision, Nigeria can rise as Africa's true maritime giant. Our opportunity is not tomorrow. It is here. It is now. This is why the Blue Economy Academy exists, to eliminate sea blindness and ignite a blue awakening in Nigeria. Through knowledge, advocacy, and action, we are sowing the seeds of ocean literacy, so every Nigerian can see the water not as a boundary, but as a bridge to prosperity. All I want to do is to simply lead a blue awakening in Nigeria, to help my country prosper by water. On this World Maritime Day, Nigeria joins the world to say, our ocean, our obligation, our opportunity. Together, let us awaken to the power of the blue. Together, let us prosper by water.
The blue economy, a multi-billion-dollar frontier trapped by policy silos and regulatory gridlock. To unlock this wealth, technical expertise and political action must align.
I founded the Blue Economy Academy to provide the leadership required. We convene the experts.
We assemble a cast of policymakers, industry players, and financiers every month to huddle around prevailing ocean matters. Code Blue is Nigeria's monthly ocean intelligence brief. We convert ocean intelligence into policy action, milestones, and investments. Access the strategy now. Scan the QR code. Stop talking potential. Start executing the plan. Prosper by water.
Clue code activated. Nigeria's monthly ocean intelligence brief.
Nigeria has officially entered Code Blue, a new chapter in ocean intelligence powered by the Blue Economy Academy. Code Blue is our monthly national briefing series that brings together policy minds, industry leaders, and civic stakeholders to make sense of the opportunities that lie offshore, underwater, and on our coast. This is where we turn maritime insight into national strategy. Our maiden edition on July 29, 2025 sets sail with a landmark focus: blueprint to reality, mainstreaming Nigeria's 10-year marine and blue economy policy. We will unpack what the policy means beyond the paper and spotlight what government, industry, and of course citizens must do to implement it. With reflections from key public and private players, Code Blue aims to move Nigeria's blue economy from vision to value. Join us for this inaugural virtual voyage. Let's deepen the maritime awareness, shape national direction, and anchor new conversations that make Nigeria prosper by water. Welcome on board.
The ocean covers more than 70% of our planet. It generates life, connects economies, and holds boundless opportunities for sustainable prosperity. But for too long, Africa, and Nigeria in particular, has overlooked the vast potential of the blue economy.
That's why we created the Blue Economy Academy, BEA, to equip professionals, policymakers, and entrepreneurs with the actionable knowledge to unlock the wealth of our ocean-based industries.
The Blue Economy Academy is Nigeria's first specialized training hub, focused on preparing industry leaders for the evolving ocean economy. We train professionals in maritime, fisheries, offshore energy, coastal development, ocean finance, and governance, providing them with knowledge you can use. Our training model is built on 10 core pillars, covering every major sector of the blue economy, from sustainable shipping and offshore energy to ocean governance, climate resilience, and entrepreneurship.
The same way we have succeeded in building estates out of nowhere. There are places that are estates today that 10 years ago, if you mentioned it, and I still cringe that you mean there's an estate that would I love to live in those places. But when you see the drone view of those estates, when you hear people telling you that they live there, it's a miracle what the real estate sector has been able to accomplish. And we now know from the current rebasing of the GDP, the preliminary submission is that real estate has overtaken oil and gas in terms of GDP performance.
Whether you're a government official, a business leader, or an aspiring entrepreneur, the time to engage with the blue economy is now. Join us at the Blue Economy Academy and let's shape the future of ocean prosperity together.
Nigeria has long been behind the curve in leveraging its ocean assets, but with the right expertise, leadership, and strategic investment, we can become a powerhouse in the global blue economy.
At BEA, we do more than teach. We create industry impact by fostering innovation, partnerships, and investment opportunities in ocean-based sectors.
In the heart of darkness lies the power of light. Nigeria, rich in sun and oil, often overlooks a third gift, the ocean's energy. Tides that never sleep, waves that crash with force, winds that sweep the Atlantic. Nigeria's coastline holds immense, renewable energy waiting to be tapped. Globally, ocean energy is scaling fast. In West Africa, Nigeria is best placed to lead if it invests. New projects are exploring wave buoys, underwater turbines, and floating solar arrays. Startups in Lagos are working on energy harvesting seawalls and hydrogen extraction from seawater. With the right research, we could power homes, desalinate water, and energize ports, all from our waves. Challenges remain. High startup costs, grid integration, harsh marine conditions. But with public-private partnerships, local manufacturing, and training, we can leapfrog. Imagine rural electrification powered by tide. Imagine powering port operations with waves instead of diesel. Our oceans move endlessly, so should our imagination. The future of energy isn't just under our feet. It's rolling in, wave by wave.
is West and Central Africa's only certified speaking professional. A powerhouse in public speaking, leadership development, and maritime strategy. He blends eloquence with economic foresight, championing Nigeria's transition from oil dependency to sustainable maritime prosperity. Please join me as we welcome the former special advisor to the Director General of NIMASA on Communication and Strategy, who is also the founder of Blue Economy Academy. Please celebrate Mr. Ubong Essien, PhD.
With regards to our business here today, in 2020, I had a fantastic privilege of being invited by the then DG of NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamu, to be a special advisor on strategy and communications. I was minding my business, teaching public speaking and communication skills to very high-profile people. He was one of my students back then, and he felt, you can't be here, you need to come and work in government. And I said to him, hell no. Those are my words to him. Hell no. Leave me alone. Let me mind my business. Until my wife intervened and my mentor, a man I respect so much, Professor Patu Tony, a man that I always say taught me a lot of what I know today, got on the phone and said to me, Ubon, what are you waiting for? You need some experience in government. And so I packed my bags and headed into the unknown to start a voyage in maritime. Now, I was thrown into that sector without any orientation. I had to work at the highest level with the chief executive day in, day out, and I had to learn very fast. The politics of it, and I'm glad I have an SSA here so he understands what I'm talking about. The politics of it, and of course, the technicalities of maritime. And one of the things I quickly discovered, which is really what is going to buoy what I share with you today, was that the real money is not in how much NIMASA collect or was collecting, or in those contracts. The real money, the real wealth was in the maritime sector itself, the entire ecosystem of what we now know and recognize as the blue economy. But before I proceed, permit me to also extend my respect and acknowledgement of the presence of the SSA to the Governor on Housing Ministry of Lagos State, Honorable Ayo Amodu. Honorable, my apologies, sorry, this just came to me. So we're in good hands. We have two SSAs here. So I feel a kindred spirit knowing the roles of special advisors to principal officers. And one of the things that I learned quickly, and I had what I would call the fortuity of leading, was the agency's Blue Economy Initiative, which we called From Crude to Blue. We are coming down to the real estate sector, but we need to know where the journey began. In other words, we have to start a conversation about our reliance on fossil fuels. Of course, it brings in most of our petrodollars. But does it really bring in as a sector, the developmental expectations in terms of economics. 6 years ago, it was a report in the Nation newspaper. NLNG and NCDMB signed a $12 billion deal for LNG Train 7 to employ 10,000 people. Please, I want to crave your indulgence. Let's just deal with estimate values here. Can someone help me calculate $12 billion across 10,000 jobs? How much will it be per job? Anyone with any device, please. Help me out. $12 billion by 10,000 jobs. We are talking estimate values. We know that was investment, but let us just cut the promoters of the project some slack. Let's say that was the total money meant for job and everything associated with it. What do we have per person? $1.2 million. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, $1.2 million multiplied by 1,500 naira. How much? 1.8 billion. 1.8 billion per job. This is the point I want to make. The expectation, and this is just very basic and simple economics, the expectation from that calculation alone is that for there to be any benefit, it would have to trickle down from each of those 10,000 persons. What is called trickle down economics. So if 5,000 of us decide to go and stash 50% of that money somewhere in the US, what is its economic value? It's practically zero. This scenario is just an example of how enclave in nature, how restricted in nature the oil sector is. It demands huge investments, huge capital outlays per project. But its economic effects is so limited, so restricted. That's why if I were to ask each of you here, if you know anyone that works in the oil sector, you'll have to rack up your head. It's an exclusive economy, it's an exclusive club. Nigeria cannot grow economically on the strength of an economy that is on the strength of a sector that is exclusive, enclave by nature. We have seen it. And so it makes sense for us to say, out of that 12 billion, estate surveyors and valuers, we're going to invest just 1 billion out of that 12 billion in real estate. What do you think will happen in terms of employment? I'm asking you, anyone? This is an open conversation now. You know your numbers, you know your business. Will it employ just 10,000 people? Estate players in the estate sector, will it employ just 10,000 people? Give me a guess. Give me a guess. $1 billion investment in real estate across, maybe let's say a PPP project. Let's say we're building some smart cities. Let's say we're building some set of estates. Can someone give me a number, please? Pardon? over 20,000? Any other person? It certainly will be much more than 12 billion to 10,000. So I share this with you to present to you a picture of two cities, a tale of two cities, or a tale of two economies. Oil and gas, which we have relied upon to drive our economy, and then the blue economy, which in itself is an emergent economy, an expand sector. And we're going to see some of the thinking behind it. And if I am able to help everyone in this room, whether you're a policymaker or a practitioner, to shift your thinking, then the possibilities will be endless. So, the blue economy and the real estate development, the sea of opportunities before us. The World Bank tells us that if the ocean were a country, it would be the 7th largest economy in the world. Let's start with that premise. The 7th largest economy in the world. The 6th largest economy is the UK. So after the UK, the ocean economy would be the 2nd largest in the world. For very obvious reasons. 70% of our planet is water. 70%. And the economic sustenance of the planet itself, apart from the biology of it, is water. How? Global trade. (70% to 80% of global trade is maritime. Maritime is blue. Think about it. During COVID, no planes could fly. No cars could run. We all got stuck. Everybody sat back at home. Only one place on earth was active. The sea lanes of the world. Transporting goods, supplies, equipment to help nations survive. Why? Because most of what we consume is delivered to us by water. So this is another important premise, because if we do not understand the context, every attempt we make to try to break into the blue economy from a blue cities perspective, which is one of the buckets of the blue economy, will challenge us and could even discourage us. So whether we like it or not, this is what the blue economy is about. So let's look at some definition of the blue economy, and let's take what the World Bank tells us about the blue economy. The World Bank says that the blue economy is the sustainable use of ocean resources for economic growth. It didn't say for revenues, and we have to begin to shift this mindset away from revenues. Revenues are essentially meant to be a fallout of actual growth. There's too much fixation on revenues without growth. It is not a sustainable approach. Revenues are a given. When economic growth takes place, you are generating so much revenues and it leaves nothing in terms of economic impact and growth. What it means is that when next we go in search of revenues, we have to increase the toll. That's what it means. So the oceans are there untapped because there's no growth. and all of the values. So whether we're in government, the fixation of revenue, the fixation towards revenue, or the fixation on revenue has to be modified, has to be tempered. Likewise, for those of us in business who are also fixated on revenues, how do I make money? It is not a sustainable approach without creating growth. Because what guarantees revenue in perpetuity is ensuring that the growth engine continues to run. If you're coming constantly for revenues, like the concept of Stephen Covey's work, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, when he talked about the golden goose, the goose that lays the golden egg. Each morning the farmer goes in, the goose lays an egg, he takes it to its golden cells. Every morning he keeps going. Then he got so tired, he said, look, why don't I just slice the goose open and take all the eggs? Well, there's a problem with that. In the final analysis, you can take all the eggs, then there's no more goose. That's a classical example of over-fixation on revenues alone, or on making money alone. There must be growth. The farmer ought to have been thinking of, oh, all right, I have one goose laying a golden egg. What do I need to do to expand capacity? That's what the blue economy is about. So it is a call to us to know that we must take steps, make the necessary commitments, make the necessary investments towards ensuring that there is growth, and then the money we are looking for will come. There's money, the blue economy. So let's go back to our definition. The sustainable use of ocean resources. The ocean has a lot of resources. Those resources are within the ocean. Those resources are also above and around the ocean. And those resources are also adjacent the ocean. If I wanted to define the blue economy simply to the average Nigeria, I would say everything water. Whatever is inside the water, your fishes, your shrimps, those living organisms and plants, whatever is beneath at the bottom of the water, the resources you can mine from it. Whatever is on top of the water, your ability to carry out transportation activities. And then, of course, the fallout effects of what happens on the coasts, or the adjacency value of water, meaning coastal communities, trading taking place along that line, the development of estates along that line, hubs. That entire ecosystem would be my own definition or explanation of what the blue economy means, so that the average Nigerian understands it and appreciates it, because Nigeria is a coastal state. Nigeria is supposed to be thriving via the blue economy. That is the understanding we are yet to inject fully into our minds. Many people live in Lagos but don't even have that appreciation that Lagos used to go by the appellation state of aquatic splendor. Now that sounds like a mouthful. But that's blue economy. So those are your ocean resources. And it says when we use these ocean resources, certain things must happen. First, economic growth. Second, improve livelihoods. There are people living around water bodies that are worse off. That is not blue economy. That's like brown economy. They are worse off. So that's not blue economy. It must improve their livelihoods. So whether it is to enable them go to schools, go to good schools, get medical support, and be as comfortable and have some measure of decency, improved livelihoods, it's a factor. And then, of course, it must create jobs. Jobs. It must create jobs. Employment, so that the people within that area can have a decent means of getting income to sustain their lives. And then, lastly, it must also preserve the health of the ocean ecosystem. So, as you begin to prepare your minds to go into the blue economy, from a real estate standpoint, you must understand represents, so that when you design projects, when you plan projects, when you propose or market or execute projects, all these elements must be there. So if you're building marinas, for instance, because those are the things we should begin to take for granted along our coast, so much more to be in, or take, we shouldn't go too far, take the Eco-Atlantic, for instance. Doing all of this, you must keep in mind whether you're participating as a financier or participating as a transaction advisor or participating as an actual builder. You must keep these things in view. Sustainability, economic growth, which is where you make your money, improving the livelihoods of those within that context, making sure that you're asking yourself, how many jobs are we creating? And then ensuring that matters such as pollution are addressed. We take a look at our water, there's so much that needs to be done in that regards. Plastics in waters everywhere. These things have to be looked at collectively to ensure that we meet the definition of what the blue economy actually represents. I'm going to move on by showing us some facts and figures concerning the blue economy and why it is such an imperative. Globally, the blue economy is worth about $1.5 trillion. $1.5 trillion globally. Africa has managed, according to the AFDB, to capture about 296 of that economic value. And then Nigeria is positioned as having 10% of that. Understandably, we have a very expanded coast. From Badagry here in Lagos to Bakassi in Cross River or thereabouts, 853 kilometers. These are just conservative estimates to show us the potential. $30 billion. Can the blue economy bring us at least $1 billion? $1 billion is how much in Naira terms? 1.5 trillion? Is it? 1.5 trillion. These are the considerations, these are the things to engage in this conversation. And I'm hoping, which is going to form one or two of my recommendations, that FIABC can begin to take the lead. Not just in advocacy. We are past the stage of advocacy. We are way, way, way behind. I'm talking now about engagement. Reaching out. Reaching out. Yes, we need policies. But don't wait for policies. I remember one of my famous motivational quotes. I used to do a lot of motivational speaking when I first started out some 25 years ago. It says, I couldn't wait for my ship to come in, so I had to swim out to it. I couldn't wait for success to come to me. Yes, that's the exact quotation. I used to use it back then. If you ever read the Achievers Manual that I published back in the day, I couldn't wait for success, so I had to swim out to it. So FIABC, NIESB, that's the mindset you must have. You do have government officials here. I am sure for a state like Lagos, Lagos is the center of excellence. Lagos always leads. There are some policy initiatives. We see that even in the various designations. But there are some policy elements that you are going to have to be the one to prod them to do. That's why it's called private sector-led initiative. 13 years ago, Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, because he wanted to deliver packages swiftly, after starting Amazon Prime, which was one-day delivery, was not satisfied with just one-day delivery, wanted instant delivery. So what did he do? He started test running drones to deliver packages within 30 minutes. That was 13 years ago. So 2002, yeah, 2025, 13 years ago. So 2012, I beg your pardon. And 60 Minutes had an interview with Jeff Bezos, and he said, look, I've done this. The problem that we have is that the FAA, that's the Federal Aviation Administration, they are so far behind. What you are doing, what you have just test run is confusing them. Think about it. Sometimes it has to be that way. Sometimes it has to be that way. Government needs all the partnership it can get from those of us in the private sector. All the partnership. And don't just sit back and wait for policies. You can no longer rely on just advocacy and appeal. You've now got to move into engagement. And when we're talking of engagement, you're saying, for instance, Fiapsi, we're going to visit the governor of Lagos State. Lagos is a coastal city. We have some leverage. Some of our members are in the cabinet. We are not going there to say, Mr. Governor, as you know, the blue economy is this, that, and the other, and we need to tap into it. The boat, the ship has left the shore that long ago. Kenya is doing far better than we are. We are behind, but we have the mass to actually, once we get it right, overtake any African nation. You are going to say, if you can open up this space for us, PPP arrangement, the final say on occupancy is the governor. The same way we have succeeded in building estates out of nowhere. There are places that are estates today that 10 years ago, if you mentioned it, I still cringe. That you mean there's an estate there. Would I love to live in those places? But when you see the drone view of those estates, when you hear people telling you that they live there, it's a miracle what the real estate sector has been able to accomplish. And we now know from the current rebasing of the GDP, the preliminary submission is that real estate has what? Has overtaken oil and gas in terms of GDP performance. That should tell us that there's something there. We should all be paying attention to it. So you've worked this miracle on the land. We're saying it's time to take your miracle powers to the waters.